All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of 22 Minutes with Jayson and Stefan. Today is MLK Day. I am Jason Bates, and he is Stefan Cotton, as he's, I don't know, you reading your burrito there or something?
No, I'm just getting the phone one on. That way, it's not loud or whatever for the live.
Oh, yeah, you know what? And I forgot to do the Periscope thing. So there you
Oh,
go. There you have it. Oh, well. Could have taken that 2 minutes to do that. Hey,
right.
thanks for joining us today on hopefully your day off today. A lot of people have the day off today, so hopefully you're taking time out of your day to listen to what we have to say, and we really do appreciate that. So, with that being said, if you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance property, we certainly would love to be the team of your choice. If you're watching us there from Facebook, please give us that thumbs up and like our page, share with your friends and family, and on YouTube, give us that thumbs up as well, and subscribe to the page. Our Twitter handles are above us, so we need to catch Mr. Stephen Cotton up to the tweet speed.
Is it a tweet a day? Because yeah, I'm behind. But I
Yeah.
thought I tweeted the other day too.
All right.
I
All
thought I
right.
tweeted, but it turned out to be just a text, so I didn't know.
We will get you we'll get you up to speed. Speaking of which, tweet. Let's do the tweet quote of the day. Let's get that. All right, today's tweet quote of the day, and Stefan, you were right on the money. You probably guessed it was an MLK quote, right? Hey, the time is always right to do what is right. So there's never a
Right.
wrong time to do what is right. I think we need to, given this week and the inauguration and things coming into to light. I'm seeing a lot of negativity on Facebook and some of this political jousting, I
Right.
guess, going back and forth, and people boycotting and this and that. Hey, listen, he's the president of the United States, whether you agree or disagree. He is still the president or going to be the president of the United States, and we need to support him and do what's right for the country as a
Four
whole.
more days. 4 more days.
Right. So that is today's tweet quote of the day. It's always the right time to do the right thing. Hey, this is Monday Newsmakers. So we got a lot to cover in today's Monday Newsmakers. A lot of things going on to the mortgage and real estate related stuff, and so with that, let's do this.
All right.
Oh, it didn't play it. Didn't play it. That's okay. I thought I was going to do the thing. I did do a new setup today, Monday Newsmakers, but didn't play. So I'll fix that later. Let's
I'll do it for you.
awkward. Yeah, awkward.
Monday.
Oh man, that was a bit awkward. That's okay.
Anyway, listen, we always have a hiccup or two on Mondays. That's what Mondays are about.
That's what they're about. Hey, if you haven't heard already, FHA cut the annual premium or the
Right.
monthly premium, I should say, from 0.85% factor to a 0.6% factor. So any loans that are after January 27th, you will have a reduced MI on that. So that's good news. That's really
Yeah.
good news.
Mathematically, it's a little bit more than 25% of the MI because 0.85, if it's point 0.8, then point 0.6. So if you're spending $200 on MI, you're probably only going to spend about 150. As a ballpark.
Yes, yes.
Moving forward.
Last week too, Ben Carson appeared before the Senate Banking Committee to be the HUD secretary. We talked about this before. I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's probably going to be a good thing. I mean, he's kind of familiar with inner city and the needs of the inner city, and that's what HUD is there for, to help inner city or everybody, every American for that matter, become homeowners. And so having an intimate knowledge as to what that entails, I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I would still think a realtor might have better, you know,
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
on a realtor board or something. But who am I? I'm not the one appointing people. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
always think it's just funny to stand back and say these are the guys that he was making fun of. Anytime you have those presidential stuff, you're all combating each other. Like they're not qualified, they're not qualified, they're not qualified. Oh, but he's qualified for this, even though he has nothing to do with real estate.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. He's a very logical man. He's a smart man. So hopefully that will make for a good combination for him. Okay, so home sales that didn't make it to settlement. There's a new study by Trulia that they claim that the number of failed contracts doubled in 2016 from they have here on from 2016, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm assuming that's a typo here on this article. I would imagine it's probably from 2015.
Right.
No one is totally sure of the reason, but there are some good guesses. Step-up homes are one of the most likely sales to fail. I will tell you, I've had a few situations where we've had kind of a line, if you will, of home sellers. So home seller number one has to sell their home to put money down on the home they want to
Right.
buy. And home seller number two, the house they're buying, needs that money to buy their next home and so on and so forth. And so we have this trickle down effect
Right.
that's becoming more and more common in our market. And if that first person can't purchase the home for whatever reason, then five other deals fail.
Right.
Right. And all those other ones, all those other five deals or four deals are typically step up homes. So I think that's where they're coming up
Yeah.
with this news because one deal for a first time home buyer can
Well,
ruin three deals.
anytime you say step up, it's contingent on selling your house.
Right.
Not all the time, but like 90% of the time. So if you're
Right.
stepping up, that means you have to sell your house to make it work.
Right.
And yeah,
It did say here too, starter homes were another category with more failures. Now, I don't know. I don't agree with this. I think more people are getting approved for a home than not approved for a home. I mean,
okay.
but when they're writing a contract, once they're under
Right.
contract, I feel like there's more of those, a higher percentage of those people closing than before.
We have a guy that likes to write contracts, get them accepted, and then cancel in the inspection period. There's like 6 houses that we've got below market. We've negotiated down, and he finds a reason. This HOA is too high. This HOA is too cheap.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of stuff. Like, let's say you're a starter buyer, right?
Yeah.
You're going to buy a house that somebody's going to sell to buy a better house, and you can't qualify. Well, then that starts the trickle down effect of the ones trying to upsell their house. You know what I mean? Move up to the higher. The I've seen a lot of cancellations in the sense of the VA or the appraisal coming in low with the FHA numbers. If you have an offer for 200, the appraisal comes in at 190, and you can't make it work. You have
Yeah.
a 4 month lock. Typically that's where it'll fall apart is during the appraisal period,
Right.
especially if it's 0% down or either 3.5% FHA appraisers, because they're not getting punished for appraising high, no, for appraising low, but they are getting punished for appraising high. So
Right.
it's their own livelihood to appraise lower. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole nother issue that it will rear its ugly head in the next few years. I think appraisals is going to be an ongoing issue. Buyers' attitudes turn negative. This is the headline here. Fannie Mae Home Purchase Sentiment Index, HPSI, I didn't even know there was an index for this, decreased in December for the fifth consecutive month, dipping zero point 0.5 points to 80.7. Most of the decline in purchase sentiment came from rates edging higher since the election. The study seems a little conflicting, though it states optimism has increased due to Donald Trump's pro-growth policies. Sounds like Fannie is hedging its bets, is what the article says.
yeah, I mean, people are positive because it's Trump should help the market. So that makes sense. I mean, the positive of the unknown versus the reality of the interest rates going up. So
Right.
you have two conflicting things.
Next headline here, and then I'm going to go into the little teaser that we had at the beginning of the pre-show there. FHA takes more steps toward automated loan review. We've seen this kind of trend here on the mortgage side, more automation coming. I mean, the big one, obviously, with Super Bowl last year, I think it's been over a year now. I think since was it Quicken Loans or something like that announced the Rocket Mortgage deal. FHA announced it's implementing a new loan review system, which will be used to manage Title II single-family loan reviews, monitoring reviews, and mortgage self-reporting of fraud, misrepresentation, and other material findings. The loan review system will not be used to manage any aspect of FHA's standard non-test case loan origination or endorsement processes. Easy for me to say.
Right.
The effective date will be no earlier than March 1st, 2017. FHA is offering a webinar to bring you up to speed. So FHA is looking to streamline some things. I think, personally, listening to Julian Castro last year saying that HUD is really understaffed. I think they're kind of forced to do this. Quite honestly,
Right.
they don't have the people power to manage a lot of things, so they're forced to go to automation.
Well,
So,
how do you think that'll change your side of the business?
well, it's only as good as it is input, right? So there's going to be stuff through automation that is either going to get through. When I say stuff, I mean like underwriters. Underwriters may loosen the guidelines and may tighten it a little bit, depending on what FHA is looking for, as far as because this isn't really on the front end kind of stuff. Although there is automation in the talks for employment and pay stubs and that sort of
Yes.
stuff. This is more on the back end stuff to help push deals and get them insured a little bit better or faster. So that could um, that could tighten things possibly depending on what we figure out are the trigger points for them not to insure a loan.
Right. I think it's going to be tight at first, and then as we figure it out, it'll be a lot simpler because you'll know how to create the package.
Right. There's going to
Or,
be a little hesitation there for
yeah,
sure.
that's what I was thinking.
Hey, I want to talk a little bit. I've seen over the past, and this is just my personal observation. This is Monday Newsmakers, but I think this is newsworthy, especially for realtors out there. And this is Facebook Live. A lot of people are using Facebook Live.
Right.
And I mentioned in the pre-show Antonio Brown using Facebook Live at probably the inappropriate time. And I think that this is something that realtors do as well. I see every weekend, my feed and my Facebook feed gets filled with, "Hey, I'm doing an open house. Check me out," kind of thing. And it's like a 5 minute video, and it really does not show the house in the best of light.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of realtors are doing a disservice to their client when representing them by doing the Facebook Lives for open houses. I'm all for Facebook Live. I mean, I'm doing live. I preach live all the
Right.
time. But I think there's a lot of realtors misusing it. They think,
What's
I think
What's the
that
best way to do it? I think, like, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think, like, do you say, "Hey, I'm at an open house from 12 to 2, Facebook Live, any of your questions," and just have the Facebook Live go on for 2 hours?
I don't think an open house is worthy of really a Facebook Live. To be honest with you, in certain circumstances, yes. But if you're doing a big brokers open and you're having a lot of activity and things like that, I think a live event is warranted. If you're just sitting there and you're bored and you're doing a Facebook Live, I don't think that's really the appropriate way. Now, can you do a video prior to and do a Facebook Live like a little 30-second snippet? Absolutely. But remember, the video for me, anyway, when I see those videos, record the video up front, have some production value there, have some creativity going into it. Show the house in the best of light, meaning the best angles, the best, some parts of the house are better at night than they are during the day. Well, take those photos and use those in your video. It doesn't have to be live. And then you're walking around and you're bouncing around and you hear your heels clicking around everywhere. The audio quality is horrible.
Yeah.
It's just it's not good. I know everybody's preaching like live, 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 and I get it. I totally get it. However, in open house situations, I don't think live is the way to go. That's me.
How do you think, the issue, or the trick
Pre-record
with
it.
Facebook? Oh, no, the trick with Facebook is when it goes live, you get blasted out that it's live.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, remember, I mean, we're doing it, right? Our numbers aren't as high as they were when we first went live.
Well, I think it's because we're on a holiday, but
But
I
you
don't
know
know
what I'm
about that.
saying? Like Facebook initially, when Facebook Live initially came out, they boosted the live above all other content. Now it's so saturated. It's you got to get creative. You got to put the best. Record the video, pre-record it, and put it on Facebook. What's the difference?
I still think I get notifications when people are live.
You do, absolutely. You get those notifications when they're live. But again, I think you're going to start turning people off. That's
Yeah.
I'm looking at him. I'm like, man, that's the crappiest video I've ever seen in my life. What are you doing putting that up? And I understand the intent. I get it.
I
I'm
believe
not
it was Martin Luther King Jr. who once said, it's always the right time
to do
to
the
do the
right
right
thing.
thing.
You're right.
So, so Facebook Live, whether you might not like the video, if it's the right thing, it's always the right time.
This is my opinion, ma'am. And I could be way off base, and I'll accept it if I'm way off base. I just there was a couple of them this weekend where they show, hey, look at that backyard, and you always see this big white bright light.
Right, right,
It's like, well, I don't see anything.
right. Or when it's pixelated too, because they're out in the basement or something. Let me show
Yeah,
you the basement.
yeah. It's like, well, what is the point?
Right,
So pre-record it, fantastic. Pre-record it, and then you know what? Spend the $10 and boost the video. You're going to get the same kind of result you're going to have on the Facebook Live
right. And then you
notification.
can be a little bit smarter on who you boost it to.
Exactly. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. All right, off my soapbox. Sorry, didn't mean to go into negative town, man. You got to pull me out of there. You got to pull me out of there.
Baby, come back. Do
Um,
this.
yeah, exactly. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Right, right.
Buying a new house in Phoenix in 2017 is going to get a lot more expensive. Now, when we say a new house, I'm talking like,
2017.
well, no, not a pre-existing home, but even like a new construction deal.
Yeah.
New construction. The days of the builders getting these land deals at such a rock bottom price are pretty much over. That land
Right.
is gone. And so land prices are increasing for builders. Construction costs have increased for builders. And yet we haven't seen price increases in subdivisions, anything substantial anyway.
Right.
In June, I think they did one Valley builder here, and in June, here it is here. Says the median price for a new Valley home was about $311,000 in November, according to R.L. Brown's Phoenix Housing Market Letter. That's only $1,000 more than it was in June of last year. So from June to November, the price increase of a home only went up $1,000
Right.
on a new construction. Typically, you'll see, during
Well, the rest of our market's gone 11%, so that should be going up 11%.
yeah, their
Minimum.
margins are very, very thin
Yeah.
because they're trying to attract people to other areas, location, 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 right? And they're having a tough time doing it, but they're predicting that it will go up in 2017. So if you're looking to buy a new construction home, you're going to be paying more.
We say it costs about $90 a square foot to build. That's with after taxes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at lots, and I was talking to an investor that wanted to develop, let's say you spend $50,000 for this acre lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
50,000. You're gonna build a 2,000 square foot house.
Right.
Okay. So the cost per square foot for that lot, right? Because everything is considered equal, would be about what, $25 a square foot, right? 25 times 2,000 is 50. It's $25 a square foot
Right.
for that acquisition. And now I build it for $90 a square foot. Now I'm at $115 a square foot to build this new house.
Right.
I need to be able to sell it for 125 to break even because of closing costs and things like that.
Right.
Maybe even 135 a square foot. So when you're looking at these neighborhoods, how much can you sell it for, or how much is it going to be worth after you build it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the other things that we take in consideration. It's on the investment side, to make it worth my while. So I'd like to see something worth about 190 a square foot before I pull the trigger on it.
Right. Right. There's a list that came out last week too, and we'll probably try to end with these two things here. This one real quick here. What do you think is America's most hated companies, or most hated company?
America's most hated company.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, Trump University.
That's probably a good guess. That is a good
Survey
guess.
says,
Survey says Comcast is number one,
yeah,
cable company.
yeah.
Right. Number two, no real surprise here. Bank of America was number two on the list. Number three was Milan. I'm not sure what that is. Nevada. I'm not sure what they do. Number four, McDonald's. Speaking of which, as you're drinking McCafe there.
This is a Carl's Jr.
Oh, it's Carl's Jr. Number five, Wells Fargo. Wells
Two
Fargo.
banks.
Now,
Okay.
number 6, which maybe I fall into this category, Facebook. Facebook is
Yeah.
the number 6 or the sixth company that's most hated in America. Spirit Airlines, Dish Network, Sears, Sprint, Walmart, and Charter Communications round up the top 12.
So
So those kind
Sprint.
of two banks in the top 10. Two banks.
Why do you think Sprint's hated so much? I mean, because that guy that was at Verizon's now over there.
I don't know. I think they drop a lot of calls, man.
Yeah, drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, drop it like it's hot. What's most important issue? What's the most important issue the Phoenix area has to address in 2017? I'll give you the choices here, and I want you to tell me what you think is the most important issue for Phoenix.
All right.
Education, affordable housing, local government support for businesses, job creation, local government support for businesses,
Okay.
job creation, business regulations, or other.
I'm gonna
So,
start with the other. I'm just kidding.
so
'Cause other's
education,
probably towards the top.
you got education, affordable housing,
Right.
local government supporting businesses, job creation, business regulations, or
I
other.
gotta go affordable housing because that seems like the biggest concern for everybody.
I know.
People can't move into Gilbert or Chandler because they can't afford it, but that's where they want to go.
That was actually next to the bottom, actually.
Right by
So,
other.
no. Number 1 was education. Education was number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 was job creation. Job creation was number 2 at 23%. Education was 52%.
Wow.
Affordable housing was 9%. That's tied with other. Doesn't really give any reason for other. Business regulation was number 4, and then local government support for businesses at 4% as well. Okay. So, last thing here, and we've only got about 20 seconds. We're going to run a little bit late. I think this is super important. This is showing the direction, possibly, of what is to come. I didn't hear about this until last week, maybe the week before, and I didn't have a chance to address it last week in the top newsmakers. But there are companies now, second mortgage companies, that are doing a little creativity when it comes to extending credit to an individual. This company, and I'm not going to name the company because I'm not getting paid by them or anything like that, even if
What
I
does it
was.
rhyme with? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, right. We could play that game, right? Well, this second mortgage company is now saying, hey, we'll give you money for down payment in exchange for a share in the equity of the property, an equity
Okay.
stake in the property. Okay. Now, if the property appreciates in value, we get part of that. If the property depreciates in value, we partake in that as well.
Yeah.
So here's kind of how it works, and this is really catching on in California because of the affordable housing that we just spoke of.
Right.
A lot of people having difficult time coming up with money for down payment, right? So buyers have to qualify for a mortgage and be able to make a down payment of at least 10% of their own. In a typical deal, and this is in California, they just kind of give this
Do they have to
scenario.
put 10% down, or do they just have to have the means to put 10% down?
It doesn't really say. Doesn't say. It says, though, in a typical deal, the company will match 10% of the down payment, but the company will do smaller and larger deals. For example, it might match a 12.5% down payment or put up as little as 5% if a buyer can put up more.
Okay.
Okay, so the threshold here is to
Right.
get it to 20% so you don't have to pay mortgage insurance, which on jumbos is kind of the threshold. You got to put 20% down. And in California, I mean, just about everything is jumbo, right? So people are having a difficult time coming up with 20% down. If homeowners have sold or don't, if homeowners haven't sold or don't want to sell after 30 years, they're obligated to get an appraisal of the house value and cash out the company, which could require taking out a home equity loan. So they'll carry this thing for 30 years.
No payments to the second, just the equity stake?
Just an equity stake, man.
Wow.
Just an equity stake.
So if they put 10% down, does it say how much equity they get, or is that just defined in the contract?
Yeah. So here's it does kind of go in. Now it gave this scenario, and I don't want to read the whole article because it's like 6 pages long. Before the company agrees to invest in buyers, the buyers have to meet with the company representative, listen to a presentation, and pass an exam that asks 20 questions about how the program works. So you got to take a little test. If they later sell their house, and this gives the example here, if they later sell their house for 750,000, they would owe the company $100,000. The original $65,000 loan that they got, this
What was
couple,
the purchase price? Because that helps me figure that. You
it
can't just
doesn't.
say sell for 750 to get 100,000.
Well, it doesn't really. I don't remember reading
Oh, the scenario. Okay, so I'm just trying to
here.
follow
But
along.
when the couple sell their house, they owe Unison 65,000. They had to put 20% down. Oh, bought their home for 650.
Okay,
650.
there you go. 650.
Yeah, in September, and they had to come up with 20% down. So, duh, they put 10% down. This company contributed 10%, right? So if they
Right.
later sell their house for 750,000, they would owe the company $100,000. Remember, they bought it for 650.
Right.
The original 65,000 that the company invested plus 35,000 because it's 35%.
Sure. Oh, so they get 35% equity.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
For
that's how they're.
20% down.
Yeah, that's kind of how they're working it. I mean, I don't know. Now this couple says, "Hey, look, suits me just fine because I'm not going to be in the house 30 years anyway. I want the tax write off. I want."
And
Yeah,
they netted 65K. I mean, that's the other thing. They paid 35K, but they ended up netting 65K
right,
because they got that initial 65K down that they never had to repay.
right. They never had to
And
until
it
they
came
sold
back
it.
to them. Right.
Right.
Not counting commissions or whatever, but or closing costs. But
Now
that's impressive.
here,
20% for 35% equity.
here's the upside to it, right? And regardless of the ups and downs of the housing market, the Sotos, which is the couple that they kind of studied here on this, are saving about $300 a month on their mortgage payment because they're putting 20% down, right, instead
Right.
of the 10% down, plus an additional $400 a month that they didn't need to pay for mortgage insurance. So
Right.
they're actually saving $700 a month through this program because of the mortgage insurance and the extra down payment.
I would do it.
So yeah, this is something not for everybody, but I thought it was kind of interesting, right? It's a totally different take on down payment and down payment assistance. So I thought that was kind of. They did say that they're going to start rolling it out to a couple other states. I think they have 3 states right now that they're focused on: California, and New York, and I think Rhode Island or something like
I would
that.
think the higher ticket items, yeah,
Yeah,
like Connecticut or something.
yeah. But they are planning on rolling it out to 11 other states this year, with more banks following suit. So there are creative financing options, I guess, out there that are coming to the forefront. So that's good. That's good. We'll keep you posted on when this hits Arizona.
I like it. Get in
So
tune with that product
yeah,
because
yeah,
my thing is, yeah, like you said, you save $700 a month. If you apply that towards the mortgage,
yeah. You pay it down. Exactly. You pay that down a little bit, or you put that in the bank and get compounding interest or whatever on it. And
right,
there's different ways to reinvest that money for sure.
right.
So that does it for today's show. We went over.
It's about time.
I
22
know.
minutes, but Jason and Stefan took a little longer because we talked a lot about Facebook.
We did. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on my rant.
It's all right. You meant to. We talked about it before the show. You knew you were going to do it. But
I had to get off my chest, man. I had
yeah,
to.
you're
Had to.
telling the realtors to slow down on the same crap. We don't care. So I do Facebook Lives on my flip houses before we get off the thing.
That's
Do
okay.
you find that interesting because you can see what we're doing with
Yeah, no, no,
properties?
no. That's okay because you're telling a story with it, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about open houses. Open
I'm here
houses.
from 10 to 2. Look at this kitchen. It's just like all the other kitchens.
Yeah, yeah. It's just silly to me, man. And now the realtors I think say, "Hey, well, I'm killing two birds with one stone. Look at me. I'm on Facebook Live. I was challenged to do Facebook Live." Well, remember Facebook, what, 5, 6 years ago, everybody took pictures of the food that they were eating. Now nobody's
Right.
taking pictures of the food they're eating.
Thank
Very
God.
few, right? Thank God.
Right.
My fear is that you will get desensitize your audience to your open house stuff. You
Right.
have to you have to be creative with just get creativity. I mean, just film it. Take the time to go to the open house prior to, film it, take some still pictures, put some labeling on it, do some things, do a bookend on it. That's fine. Where you're introducing the open house, play the pictures, and then have that call to action like come out and see me now. But when you walk through the entire 3,500 square foot home to show me every single bedroom and every single
Yeah.
toilet, I don't
Right.
care.
That's what I always say. Like, even with my photos, let's say I get, I pay for 28 photos. There's some that do like 60 or 100 photos, but I think you could tell the story of the house in 28 photos. And even then, if the bedrooms are all the same color, they're all the same teal, or
Mm-hmm.
not teal, but the tan
Mm-hmm.
beige. If they're all the same that, and the windows have the same size, and they all have the same like window treatment, the white, faux 2-inch faux.
Right.
What does it matter if I only show you one of the bedrooms? Like,
Exactly.
hey, honey, what's the fourth bedroom look like? It looks just like bedroom number two and three. But
Well, isn't the point of you doing this Facebook Live is to show people, is to get people out to your open house? If I
right,
see everything through the video, I don't need to come to your open house.
what if you did a walkthrough of the property on Friday, and then you boosted it for the open house on Saturday?
Exactly.
I'm gonna be doing open house here on Friday. Let me know if you're interested, and then you could spend the $10, $20 to advertise your little nook.
And get the professional photos done and
Yeah.
showcase those. And then on the video, do a voiceover on the video telling me the backstory of this house. I want to know that a family raised their children in this house, or I want to know who the builder is, when it was built.
I
The
want to
lo-
know that it was a meth house,
yeah,
or
exactly.
that there was a murder.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you want to know the backstory, right? This
Right.
storytelling and selling, I think, is left. That's an art form, and I think it's left to the side. Everybody just
Right.
wants to see the features. Oh, look at the stainless steel. I really don't care. Tell me the story of the house. When was it
Yeah, yeah.
built? Tell me the bones. When was the roof
You
replaced?
don't care, but as a buyer's agent, I can tell you, when people like see granite, they love the granite, and when they see that faucet that kind of comes out that
Yeah,
sprays water,
yeah,
oh my God, I want that faucet.
yeah. I know. I
I
know.
mean, because that's the first time home buyers experience. So maybe they're not marketing towards you as a lender.
Well, it's a 750. What's a $750,000 house? It's not a first time home buyer.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the
Yeah, three
backstory.
thousand
Just
square foot house. Yeah.
Yeah, just hey, come out and see me. Come out and see me. It's like, well, you just showed me the entire house. I don't need to.
Yeah. Why do I need to see you? I just saw you. You're on
Yeah,
TV or
yeah. So
Facebook or whatever.
you got to tell me the backstory. You got to tell me the
Right.
story behind the house. That's
Two people died while building this house. They say their spirit still haunts the halls.
and I think if you get creative with that, then you're really going to separate yourself from your competitors. If you really get creative on the open house and or the house itself and promoting it,
Right.
I think you would really separate yourself. Now, when you're telling your stories on your flips, you're showing like progression, right?
Right.
This is
Here's
where
what
we
we
tore
did.
it down.
Yeah.
This is the beginning. That's
Here's what we
cool.
got for it. Yeah.
It's
We paid it for this amount. We bought it at this place. Yeah.
that's what Snapchat was all about, right? Storytelling through pictures, right?
Oh,
Instagram, whatever. That's
yeah.
what it
Instagram.
is. And you're doing that through video on okay, I totally get that. The other that's there's a proper use of using social media and there's an improper use. And I'm just saying the open house deal for Facebook Live,
Right.
I'm not sold. I'm not sold on
Right.
that one. So that's all. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for today's show. I hope we don't.
Yeah.
Thank
It's been
God
a great
Facebook does not
experience.
have a thumbs down because I probably will get a bunch of thumbs downs.
Well, it's murky outside. It's
Yeah.
a holiday. Most people aren't working, and we're here working.
Yeah, we're working. Hey, see that? We're working for you. So if you're out there and you're looking to buy, sell, or refinance a property, hey, we're working on our on days off. So reach out to us. We'd love to work for you and represent you, and get you the home of your dreams. So please reach out to us. Really, really appreciate that. Give us that thumbs up, share and like the page, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us there on Twitter
Yeah.
as well. Do that for us. We'll return tomorrow for Trending Tuesday. We'll talk about some trends. Maybe we should talk about the Facebook Lives and the trends on that.
Yeah. We should.
you know,
I wonder. I wonder what the numbers are.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. All right, cool. Until then, everyone have a good day and relax, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Beep beep beep.
Come on, play. It won't play. There it goes.
There it is.
There it goes. Hopefully that played.
I heard the last little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's take a look. Let's see. No, I'm not interested at this time.